Hello, and welcome to a video I've never really done before. So I've already watched this theory before. It's not really one theory, it's 3 different theories by Game Theory about the Minecraft movie and all that, right? So I kind of want to cover theory number 1. I remember watching this video when it came out, and this specific theory made me mad. This specific theory made me kind of angry, honestly. It's just so stupid, and I want to kind of point out some contradictories in it between past theories and stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to talk about it.
Mini theory. Netherwort is more than just a fungus. In case you don't know, netherwort is a red, mushroom-like substance that grows on soul soil and soul sand in the nether. It's been around since version 1.0. This stuff is a core part of the Minecraft world, and yet...
This is true. Yes. The netherwort are indeed big parts of Minecraft itself. They're used for potions. Every potion, I'm pretty sure you need netherwort to make the base potion, and then you can continue and stuff like that.
It's only now, 14 years after its inclusion, we're finally getting some information about what it truly is. In a Minecraft movie, the piglins are about to enter the overworld to chase down our heroes, but they need to find a way to enter the overworld without turning into zombified piglin. They have accomplished this before in the game's timeline.
Nether spreaders, the pollution they create makes the air breathable for the piglins.
In Minecraft Legends, the piglins create a structure that pollutes the air and makes it breathable, stopping them from becoming zombified piglins. Kinda like reverse Last of Us. The movie actually borrows a lot of elements directly from Legends, like giant nether portals being powered by a purple cube, heroes being teleported from another world.
Yeah, all this is pretty true. This part makes sense. The piglins need something to help them survive outside of the nether, you know. They need to survive in the overworld in order to, do their piglin stuff. That's true.
And Malgosha, the leader of the piglins, basically just being a movie version of the Seer. With that, I expected them to take a similar approach when it came to this zombifying problem, but they didn't. Instead, Malgosha surprised me by handing General Chungus... Sorry, that name gets me every time. Anyway, Malgosha hands General
It's not that funny. I'm sorry.
Chungus a potion bottle and tells him to drink the netherwort. If netherwort is being used to stop the zombifying process, then it's more than just some fungus that grows in the hellish environment of the nether. It's essentially acting as a vaccine.
See, this is stupid to me. This doesn't make any sense. How are you going to say that the netherwort are a vaccine when it's a potion? I understand he's going to cover that, but it's a potion, dog. It's not a vaccine. He covers how, there are drinkable vaccines, kind of, but it still doesn't make any sense. It's called a potion for a reason, and he tries to go in and say that all the potions are just vaccines and stuff like that. But, it doesn't make any sense. If the piglins came a long time ago, they came into the overworld using these, spreaders or whatever so that they could breathe in the overworld, but they couldn't use it anymore in the movie, which the movie, I'm pretty sure, is not canon in any way, shape, or form, confirmed. If they can't use it anymore and they just have to use a potion, it's called a potion for a reason. It's not a vaccine.
Vaccines work by exposing your body to a harmless version of a virus or bacteria to trigger your immune system into recognizing that type of disease, allowing it to fight off the real thing when the time comes. Whatever it is that converts the piglin into zombie piglin, maybe an airborne zombie virus like we've talked about in previous...
Yeah, that just also doesn't make any sense. The zombies in Minecraft are most likely... I agree with the ancient builder theory, so I'm going to cover that for a little bit. The ancient builders are basically just what built all the structures in Minecraft a long time ago before, the game takes place. And his theory is basically that there was some kind of airborne virus that turned a bunch of the ancient builders into zombies, blah, blah, blah. Basically, that also just doesn't make any sense. Minecraft is a game. It's not going to follow very many rules and logic of the real world. It's got potions. Those don't really exist. You're not going to drink something and it's going to make you jump extra high. Doesn't make any sense. Most likely the zombies are just, like fictional zombies. They probably die. They're probably the ancient builders, die, and then come back. You know what I'm saying? Or they're Steves, and they died, and then they came back. But if we want to use that logic, the Minecraft movie kind of contradicts that because there couldn't be multiple Steves, because Steve was the only Steve. So, what are the zombies in the Minecraft movie? They're probably not ancient builders, because I don't think there's any of the ancient builders like things, structures in the Minecraft movie. I don't know, I haven't watched it. Don't quote me on that part. But that part just doesn't make sense. So, in the Minecraft movie, it can't be ancient builders. It couldn't be Steve. So the zombies are just there in the Minecraft movie. And then in the game, it's most likely just the ancient builders. Honestly, like that would make sense to me. And it's just following usual zombie logic where they just rise from the dead.
Theories, it exists in an inactive state inside the netherwart, so when they consume it, their bodies learn to fight it off, stopping the zombifying process. Both bacteria and viruses
also just wouldn't make sense because, like, why don't we have zombified endermen or zombified sheep, cows, pigs? Why is nothing else getting zombified? Pillagers, villagers, the player. Why is it only the pigmen? I think the pigmen are just used to the air in the nether, so they breathe that in their entire lives. They've evolved to get used to it. It just makes more sense for them to just be used to that. And then when they go to the overworld, they just, aren't used to it, and it kills them. The air in the overworld is not breathable for them, so they die. Like, let's just take fish for an example, Fish, deep pressure fish are used to the pressure all the way down at the bottom of the ocean. You bring them from 15,000 feet down to 100 feet down, they're gonna change. They're probably gonna die, It's basically the same thing with the pigmen. The piglins. You take them from a place where they're used to breathing, that they've evolved to breathe in, and then you bring it somewhere else where they've never been, they're gonna die. They're gonna change. Their skin's gonna fall off. That makes more sense than a virus, whatever.
also need to be kept in ideal conditions in order to survive and multiply. Anything too cold or too hot could kill them, which is actually why you get a fever when you're sick. It's your body trying to raise the temperature and kill off the sickness. And the nether, as we all know...
This is a good point. That would make sense. But some viruses are adapted to being in hot environments or cold environments. There has been multiple viruses that get trapped in ice and still survive. That's not too good of an argument, but I can understand it.
Is a very hot place, so the virus is unable to spread. Hence, the piglin aren't zombifying all the time, and so it lies dormant, inactive, inside the netherwart, making it perfect for use as a vaccine. What you might be thinking isn't so perfect is the method of which they take the vaccine. Normally, for a vaccine, you go to your doctor and you get a shot. This allows the vaccine to enter via your bloodstream and directly begin its work immunizing you. But these piglin aren't getting shots, they're ingesting the vaccine. Typically, ingesting a vaccine isn't an effective method because your stomach acids can break down and destroy the vaccine before...
Yeah, this is where he covers that there are some vaccines that they've been developing that you can eat and stuff. That's not super important. We care.
Seeing from the nether spreaders in Minecraft.
Yeah. This part too, he's talking about breathable vaccines. This would make sense, but most likely what this is it's just air from the nether being spread. It's not netherwart air being spread. Could that be what it is? Maybe. But even then, it still doesn't make too much sense in the fact that if this isn't a virus, right? Okay. The player in Minecraft Legends, I'm pretty sure, can walk near these and it doesn't kill them. Their little golems and stuff can walk near these and it doesn't harm them. That doesn't make any sense. I feel like it would do some kind of damage to them, you know? Also, you can bring any animal into the Nether and they're basically they're perfectly fine. So that might be just like a little bit of game logic contradiction in the fact that, you know, the air is the same in the Nether than it is in the overworld, which I don't know because you can see dust and stuff in certain biomes. There is just, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense with Minecraft in itself being able to bring every mob into the Nether, but piglins and hoglins can't go into the overworld. I mean, they can, but they died. There's a little bit of contradiction in the game itself in that fact, but it just, I feel like there's so many different elements in this theory that just don't make a whole lot of sense. We're going to skip over this part. He just talks about, the vaccine's still
46 degrees Fahrenheit, which when you live in a fiery lava-filled hex space like the Nether is gonna be pretty useful. But this not only reveals what Netherwart is and how it affects piglins, it also shines a light on another key part of the Minecraft world, potions. An important detail you may have noticed is that in the movie, the Netherwart is specifically consumed from a potion bottle. When you mix a water bottle and Netherwart in Minecraft, you get an awkward
this. Also, awkward potions don't do anything. When you drink an awkward potion, it doesn't do anything. So most likely the piglins just drink awkward potions. That's my main theory. They just drink awkward potions, and what it does for them, it doesn't do for us because we can already go into the Nether perfectly fine. Now, would it be kind of cool if they added a feature where you had to drink an awkward potion and then you could only be in the Nether for a certain period of time? That would actually be kind of cool, but I feel like it would kind of destroy the pacing of the game. So yeah, don't take my advice too much. Anyways, they just drink a potion. It's an awkward potion. It's most likely just Netherwart, water, blaze rods. You know, it's not a vaccine. It's not killing a virus.
potion, which is the
It's a magical potion. They make you invisible. They give you super speed. They give you super jump. Like, they're not he's going to say that in a second.
foundational ingredient to almost every potion in the game. Once you have an awkward potion, you can add other ingredients to give them effects like night vision, underwater breathing, and fire resistance. But if these awkward potions are acting as a vaccine, that might give a more logical explanation for what exactly these potions
No, it doesn't.
really are. They aren't magical items giving you superpowers.
Yes, they are.
They are vaccines designed to heal us and restore us to base levels.
No, they're not.
There are hundreds and hundreds of vaccines in the world today, and they can help treat a myriad of diseases. Some can stop your lungs from failing, lowering their general capacity. Others can be helped to suppress proteins like myostatin that cause your skeletal muscles to not fully grow. And vaccines like the MMR vaccine reduce the risk of things like corneal scarring and glaucoma, which all affect eyesight. Having a non-compromised lung capacity would allow you to hold your breath for longer, like we see with underwater breathing. Having non-compromised skeletal muscles would make you stronger and faster, like we are when we consume potions of haste, swiftness, and leaping.
Yeah, that's a good point, but that still doesn't really cover invisibility. Invisibility is that's a big one, you know? You're not, if you get a vaccine, if you get a little shot in you, it's not gonna, turn you invisible. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Non-compromised eyesight naturally makes your eyesight at night better, just like night vision. Clearly, there's more than just a zombie virus we have to contend with in the overworld. This place is full of bacteria and viruses that are causing us to essentially be working at a deficit the entire time we're playing. When we take a potion, we're not boosting our powers, we're restoring them back to base levels thanks to the immunizing properties of the...
So basically what he's saying here is Steve is just a god. Which, to be fair, Steve is very strong. He's a very strong man. He can hold a whole lot of weight. But I don't think he's a god in the fact that he can, super jump and that some little tiny virus got rid of that ability, and then he drank netherwort plus rabbit's foot, water, and blaze powder, and then just all of a sudden gets that power back. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The netherwort vaccine. But of course, just like we see with real vaccines, the effects are only temporary, because these viruses can evolve in a way that your body isn't equipped to handle anymore, which is why you can be offered top-up boosters to help keep you fighting fit. Theory number 2.
Okay, that's the end of the first theory. I'm not going to cover all the other ones because the other ones are not really...
Is not a...
Yeah, not the descendant of the ancient builders. I could get into these other ones, but I don't really care about those ones as much as this one. So, if you have any contradictions to either what I've said or what he's said, let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any theories based on, what the potions are, I think they're just genuinely magical potions that give you abilities. That makes the most sense to me, especially in a world where zombies, skeletons, and other mythical creatures like dragons exist. Kind of just makes more sense than a vaccine. But again, you take your opinions, say them in the comments, tell me what you think, and if it's cool enough, I might get back to you. That's about it. Roll the outro.